Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from whatever you're watching this channel. Now, the story in Mount Kenya regarding the illicit brew and the banning of that business within the Mount Kenya has put GACHAGUA at loggerheads with the governors of that region.
Finally, niseme sasa bwana Kang'ata, you have a good team to support you. You know, karibu tukosane ndugu yangu. Lakini nikujua ulikuwa na watu wako kusaidia wewe. Sasa nimekupatia watu wazuri.
Remember, in politics, it's always about interest. It is always about numbers. So according to the story that has leaked, a governor from Mount Kenya has bolted out of the alcohol and the illicit brew sale in Mount Kenya. The deputy president is currently treading in murky waters, a road that so many have failed before. At one time, ex-minister John Mutudho came up with Mutudho laws that sought to tighten the regulation. This was appreciated across board. Uhuru Kenyatta also attempted to, fight the menace, but fell short of succeeding. So for GACHAGUA, word has it that the momentum which he started, he can only hope that things work for him. And since the governors are slowly withdrawing from GACHAGUA's cause, what we are sure of is that the support in Mount Kenya will not be forthcoming. So I want us to go deeper into this story and try to establish the fear and the governors who have decided to, decamp from GACHAGUA's team and are literally not supporting him in matters of his quest. But before you do that, allow me to welcome you again to this analysis and encourage you to please support this channel by subscribing and liking, and you can also share this video. To those who supported us before, thank you so much for giving this channel an opportunity to grow. Signs of Mr. GACHAGUA's troop withdrawing are emerging, especially among governors. When GACHAGUA asked the governors to reduce licensed bar by half in Mount Kenya, none heeded. One governor said that he has an assembly with more than 10 bar owners, while some of his campaign financiers have invested in the sector, and so he did not heed the call for the fear of losing allies. One thing I need to assure you, or I can tell you for free, is that in Mount Kenya, this business of alcohol brew, iko juu sana, But the way GACHAGUA has put it is like he's telling the Mount Kenya leaders, especially governors, that these people who have been licensed are selling sumu.
The fight against illicit alcohol, even if it means him losing his job.
Mtu atakubaliwa kutengeneza sumu kuiita ati ni pombe auzie watoto wetu. Kwa hivyo hizi factory zote ilikuwa nauza hizo mapombe tumesimamisha for 21 days. They apply afresh. Wengine wanajaribu kuniuzia uoga mimi. Oh, Deputy President, unajua hii watu ya pombe ni kali sana. Wewe na ni mtu ya kuchaguliwa. Si watu watakufukuza vile walifukuza Mutudho. So mimi niseme namna hii, kama hii kiti itapotea kwa sababu ya kusema watoto wetu hatutakubali wauziwe sumu, niko tayari.
He made use of that word, poison. Whether he's telling the truth or not telling the truth, but that's what GACHAGUA said. But in politics, like I said, it is always about interest. So the governors are realizing that if we dance to GACHAGUA's tune, then we lose out on support in Mount Kenya. The point of reality, ladies and gentlemen, is that the following of GACHAGUA in Mount Kenya, iko chini. I could give it a 30%, as opposed to last year but one before election there. It had risen to around 60%, 70%, but now rest assured it is at 30%. When GACHAGUA decided to attack this issue of coffee cartels in Mount Kenya, he chest-thumped, said that he was going to deal with that menace. But what did he do? Did he succeed? The question is whether he succeeded or not. Personally, I think Gachagua didn't succeed because he went publicly and said that the cartels are too entrenched into this whole cartel network issue. And so as a result, he was admitting that he could not deal with the cartels. So I can see a scenario whereby either in this issue of illicit brew, because from what I read to you previously, I told you about Mutudho laws. Mutudho laws were brought and they were meant to curb, the growing illicit brew, the number of illicit brews which were growing. So it was supposed to curb that. And during those laws, some of them were that bars are supposed to open at around 4 to 5 there. That is on weekdays, but on a weekend they can operate the whole day. And then bars are not supposed to operate beyond midnight. So some of these laws were meant to make sure that people are discouraged from drinking overnight and that people are discouraged from overly drinking. So that was part of Mutudho laws. And in that documentation from Mutudho, the licensed liquor license had risen by almost 0.5%, half of what was there. So
who are within 300 meters from the schools, if they are able to elect a wall or a barrier that makes it impossible to be more comfortable and there is no noise, it will be okay for licensing purposes. That makes it even better for them. We are saying that alcoholism is a condition. Ni ugonjwa is a condition. So
the whole thing was to discourage illicit brew. So now that Rigathi Gachagua is facing total opposition from the governors in Mount Kenya, I can only say that he is treading in murky waters. Maybe he needs to withdraw from, fighting this. Mind you, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta attempted to, curb this issue of illicit brew. And from those people who followed that story back then, Uhuru attempted to. But he realized that there were people who were working behind the scene to frustrate the progress. So as a result, what he did is just ditch the whole process and sema kwamba watu wajipange. He left it to, I think, the Ministry of Interior and Security. That was the ministry that was left to handle that menace of brews. You see, some of these people, business owners, are the ones who finance the campaigns. The governor is admitting that 10 of his, assembly members own bars. 10. They own 10 bars. So he realizes that if he tries to fight these people, then he might lose out. And just like I said, politics is all about interest. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you make of this latest revelation that governor withdraws from Rigiji Mount Kenya alcohol fight, cites fear of losing his allies who own bars? The governor has friends who own bars. These friends are in the National Assembly, are in the County Assembly, I mean. So these friends, he fears losing them, because if he does, then he will lose on support. And since he still has a career to protect, he's choosing to, distance himself from Rigathi Gachagua's efforts. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you make of this trending story? Just go below the comment section and tell us what you think about what is being peddled. So until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.